Have you ever wondered why some people seem to flow through life with such harmony and balance, while others constantly struggle against invisible currents? If you are a Libra, I have a revelation that could completely change your perspective on the obstacles that have been hindering your spiritual and personal growth. Through years of studying the energetic patterns of the signs, I discovered something surprising about Libras. There is a specific set of behaviors, beliefs, and habits that you carry like heavy baggage, without even realizing it. And this baggage not only limits your potential, but also blocks the abundance and inner peace that are your birthright. What you are about to discover is not just generic self-help advice. These are profound revelations about patterns that are rooted in the very essence of your sign. Patterns that, once identified and released, can unlock a level of harmony and success you may never have imagined possible. But here's the crux. If you continue to carry these 10 specific things I'm going to reveal today, you'll remain trapped in cycles of indecision, unbalanced relationships, and a constant feeling that something is missing in your life. On the other hand, if you have the courage to let go of these invisible bonds, a new reality will open before you. Brace yourself, because some of these revelations may be uncomfortable. But remember, discomfort is just the price we pay for genuine transformation. The first thing you need to let go of as a Libra is the obsessive need to please everyone around you. I know this may sound strange, especially since this trait seems so natural to you, but I'll explain why it's sabotaging your life in ways you might not even imagine. When you were born under the influence of Libra, you were given the gift of diplomacy and the ability to see all sides of a situation. This is truly a gift from the universe. But over the years, this ability has transformed into something very different. It's become a compulsion to always say yes, to always find a way not to disappoint anyone, even if it means sacrificing your own needs and desires. Think for a moment. How many times have you said yes to something you didn't want to do, just to avoid conflict? How many times have you pretended to agree with an opinion that went against your own convictions, just to keep the peace? This need to please is draining your vital energy and creating a deep imbalance in your soul. Libra's cosmic energy functions best when there is genuine balance, not when there is a false harmony built on the suppression of your authenticity. When you constantly put yourself second to please others, you are creating an energetic imbalance that manifests as anxiety, resentment, and a constant feeling of emptiness. The universe doesn't need you to be an emotional doormat. In fact, your mission as a Libra is to find true balance, which is only possible when you honor both your own needs and those of others. Letting go of this need to please doesn't mean becoming selfish or insensitive. It means recognizing that your happiness and well-being also matter in the grand scheme of things. The second baggage weighing you down on your journey is chronic indecision that paralyzes your actions. As a Libra, you have the unique ability to see multiple perspectives on any situation, and this is truly valuable. But when this ability turns into an inability to make decisions, it becomes an invisible prison that impedes your progress. I'll be blunt with you. Life doesn't wait for perfect decisions. While you're endlessly weighing the pros and cons, opportunities are passing you by, relationships are fading, and dreams are being postponed indefinitely. This analysis paralysis is costing you far more than you realize. What happens energetically when you get stuck in indecision is fascinating. Your energy stagnates, creating blocks in every aspect of your life. It's as if you're constantly pressing the brakes and the accelerator at the same time. The result is burnout, frustration, and a feeling that you can never gain real momentum. But here's the secret that few Libras know. The perfect decision doesn't exist. What exists is the right decision for the current moment, based on the information you have available now. And even if you make a decision that later turns out to be suboptimal, you will still have learned something valuable and moved in the direction of growth. The universe favors action over inaction. When you make a decision, even an imperfect one, you're telling the cosmos that you trust the flow of life and are willing to navigate the consequences. This trust is rewarded with more opportunities, more clarity, and ironically, easier future decisions. Practice makes decisiveness a stronger muscle. The third thing you must leave behind is the tendency to avoid conflict at all costs. I completely understand where this comes from. As a Libra, you physically feel the weight of discord and disharmony. It's as if your nervous system is programmed to detect and reject any form of interpersonal tension. But here's the truth no one told you. Not all conflict is negative. In fact, many conflicts are necessary for growth, for establishing healthy boundaries, and for creating deeper, more authentic relationships. When you avoid all conflict, you're actually avoiding growth. Let me give you a practical example. Imagine someone close to you is constantly overstepping your boundaries, whether by asking for too many favors or not respecting your time or your opinions. If you consistently give in to avoid conflict, you're teaching this person that they can continue treating you this way. More than that, you're creating internal resentment that will eventually explode in much more destructive ways. Libra energy, when balanced, doesn't avoid conflict. It transforms it into opportunities to create genuine harmony. This means having difficult conversations with love and respect. It means expressing your needs clearly and lovingly. It means recognizing that temporary conflict can lead to lasting peace. When you stop running from necessary conflict, something magical happens. You discover that you are much stronger and more resilient than you imagined. You discover that you can maintain healthy relationships even when there are occasional disagreements. And most importantly, you discover that forced harmony never compares to the peace that comes from genuinely resolving important issues. Now, before we continue with the fourth revelation, I need to make a special request of you. If this content resonates with you, if these words touch something deep within your Libra soul, I would love for you to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. This way, you won't miss any of the upcoming revelations that could transform your life. And let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing that our spiritual community spans so many different places. The fourth baggage you need to let go of is the constant search for external approval. As a Libra, you have a very sensitive internal radar for the emotions and reactions of those around you. This sensitivity is a gift, but it can also become a trap when you start basing your self-worth on the reactions of others. Let me be very clear about this. When you constantly seek external approval, you are giving away your personal power to others. You are telling the universe that you don't trust your own inner wisdom and that you need the validation of others to feel valuable. This is not only energetically exhausting, but it also puts you on a constant emotional roller coaster. Think about how many important decisions you've made based on what others would think or say. How many times have you changed your behavior, your opinions, or even your dreams because you were afraid of other people's disapproval? This need for approval is drastically limiting your ability to live an authentic and fulfilling life. The truth is, you will never please everyone, and trying to do so is a guaranteed recipe for unhappiness. There will always be someone who doesn't like your choices, no matter how carefully you try to please everyone. And while you're wasting energy trying to win the approval of people who may not even be important in your life, you're neglecting the approval of the most important person, yourself. The path to freedom begins when you recognize that the only approval that truly matters is your own and that of the universe. And the universe always approves when you are being authentic, when you are following your inner truth, and when you are contributing positively to the world around you. This is the approval that truly nourishes your soul and can never be taken away by whims or outside opinions. The fifth thing you must leave behind is the tendency to completely lose yourself in relationships. Libra is the sign of relationships, and this means you have a natural ability to connect deeply with others. But it also means there's a dangerous tendency to completely nullify yourself in favor of your partner or loved ones. This is not true love. In fact, it's a form of imbalance that harms both you and the person you're in a relationship with. When you completely lose yourself in a relationship, you cease to be the interesting, complex, and unique person who attracted your partner in the first place. You become a shadow, an echo of the other person's preferences and personality. I'll tell you something that may be hard to hear. Healthy relationships don't require you to sacrifice your individuality. In fact, they flourish when two complete, whole, and authentic people choose to share their lives. When you nullify yourself in a relationship, you deprive both yourself and the other of the richness that comes from diversity and individuality. Libra energy works best when there's a balance between giving and receiving, between maintaining your identity and connecting deeply with others. This means having your own interests, opinions, dreams, and goals, even when deeply in love. It means being able to say no when necessary, and to maintain relationships and activities that are important to you, regardless of what your partner thinks of them. Truly harmonious relationships are created when two people complement each other. not when one person disappears to accommodate the other. When you maintain your individuality within relationships, you are offering the gift of authenticity, which is far more valuable than the false peace that comes from self-effacement. The sixth baggage that's hindering your evolution is paralyzing perfectionism. As a Libra, you have a natural eye for beauty, harmony, and elegance. You can see how things could be improved, how they could be more balanced or aesthetically pleasing. But when this ability turns into perfectionism, it becomes a gigantic obstacle in your path. Perfectionism is different from the desire for excellence. Excellence is about doing your best with the resources and time available. Perfectionism is about never being good enough, about postponing actions until everything is impeccable, about having impossible standards that no one, not even you, can consistently meet. How many projects have you started but never finished because they weren't perfect enough? How many opportunities have you missed because you were waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect conditions, or the perfect preparation? Perfectionism isn't protecting you from failure. It's depriving you of the success and growth that comes from imperfect action. The universe doesn't expect perfection from you. In fact, imperfection is part of the divine design of the human experience. It is through our mistakes, adjustments, and imperfect attempts that we learn, grow, and eventually achieve mastery. When you allow yourself to be imperfect, you align yourself with the natural flow of life and learning. The beauty you so value as a Libra doesn't come from perfection. It comes from authenticity, from the courage to try, from the willingness to show yourself as you are, even when you're not at your best. This is a beauty much deeper and more lasting than any superficial perfection could offer. The seventh thing you need to abandon is procrastination disguised as overplanning. I know this may sound contradictory, especially since planning seems like a positive and responsible thing. But I'll show you how, for many Libras, planning has become a sophisticated way of avoiding action. You're probably familiar with this dynamic. You have an idea, a project, or a dream. Instead of getting started, you decide you need to make a detailed plan first. So you research, you analyze, you make lists, you consider all the possibilities and variables. Weeks or even months pass and you're still planning, still preparing to actually begin. What's happening here is that you're using planning as a comfort zone. While you're planning, you feel productive and smart, but you're actually avoiding the risk and vulnerability that come with real action. You're avoiding the possibility of failure, but you're also avoiding the possibility of success. The truth is, you often learn more in a week of action than in months of theoretical planning. Reality has a way of adjusting your plans in ways you could never anticipate sitting at your desk making lists. The best plans are those that evolve and adapt through real experience, not those that are perfect on paper. This doesn't mean you should stop planning altogether. It means finding the balance between sufficient preparation and timely action. It means recognizing when additional planning is productive and when it's just procrastination in disguise. Your Libra intuition knows the difference if you take the time to listen to it. The eighth baggage you must leave behind is constant comparison with others. As a Libra, you have a natural tendency to observe and analyze the people around you. You notice how they dress, how they behave, what choices they make, and what results they achieve. But when this observation turns into constant comparison, it becomes toxic to your self-esteem and personal progress. Comparison is particularly dangerous for Libras because you have a unique ability to see the positive qualities in others. You can see so-and-so's talent, so-and-so's beauty, so-and-so's success. And in contrast, your own qualities and achievements seem inadequate or insufficient. But this is a dangerous illusion that is sabotaging your growth. What you don't see when you compare your life to others are the internal struggles, fears, doubts, and sacrifices they face. You're comparing your internal reality to the external presentation of others. It's like comparing the behind the scenes of your life to the carefully edited spectacle others present to the world. Every person has a unique journey, with specific lessons to learn and specific gifts to develop. Your mission is not to be better than other people. Your mission is to be the best version of yourself. And this is only possible when you stop wasting energy comparing and start investing that energy in your own growth and development. Comparison not only drains your energy, but it also clouds your vision of your own progress and achievements. When you're always looking at what others have or do, you lose sight of the blessings, talents, and opportunities already present in your own life. Gratitude and self-acknowledgement are powerful antidotes to the poison of comparison. The ninth thing you need to let go of is resistance to change, especially when that change seems to threaten your sense of balance and harmony. I know this may seem strange, since change and growth go hand in hand, but many Libras develop a subtle resistance to change because they fear it might disrupt the stability they value so much. This resistance manifests itself in many ways. Perhaps you cling to relationships that no longer serve you because you fear the emotional chaos that would come with their end. Perhaps you stay in unfulfilling jobs because the uncertainty of a career change seems terrifying. Or perhaps you avoid opportunities for growth because they would require you to step outside your well-organized comfort zone. But here's the truth the universe wants you to understand. Change is not the enemy of balance. In fact, true balance is dynamic, not static. It's like a surfer maintaining balance on a moving wave, not like a motionless statue on a pedestal. Life is constantly changing, and your ability to maintain harmony depends on your flexibility to adapt to those changes. When you resist necessary change, you're not preserving harmony. You're creating tension and imbalance. It's like trying to hold water in your hands. The tighter you squeeze, the more it escapes. The same is true with life. The more you try to control and keep everything exactly as it is, the more energy you expend and the less harmony you experience. Change, when embraced wisely, can lead to levels of balance and satisfaction you never imagined possible. It can open doors to healthier relationships, more fulfilling careers, and a life more aligned with your deepest values. The key is learning to see change as an opportunity for growth, not as a threat to your security. The 10th and final thing you must leave behind is the limiting belief that you don't have the right to have strong opinions or take firm stances on important issues. Many Libras grew up believing that having strong opinions is somehow incompatible with their diplomatic and balanced nature. This belief is not only false, but also detrimental to your personal and spiritual development. You not only have the right to hold strong opinions, but also the responsibility to develop and express them when appropriate. Your opinions, based on your unique experience and acquired wisdom, are valuable contributions to the world. True balance comes not from the absence of opinions, but from the ability to hold your convictions while remaining open to dialogue and learning. You can believe strongly in something and still be willing to listen to different perspectives. You can defend your positions passionately and still treat those who disagree with you with respect and dignity. In fact, when you express your opinions authentically and respectfully, you are offering the world the unique perspective that only you can offer. You are contributing to important conversations and influencing positive change. You are fulfilling part of your purpose as a Libra, which includes bringing more balance and justice to the world. Having strong opinions doesn't make you difficult or unbalanced. It makes you a person of integrity, authenticity, and courage. And these are qualities the world desperately needs, especially from someone with your natural ability to see multiple perspectives and communicate with diplomacy and grace. We've reached the end of this journey of discovery and liberation, and I hope you're feeling the weight of these revelations positively. The 10 baggage we explored today isn't character flaws or personality flaws. They're patterns that have developed over time and that you now have the power to transform. Letting go of these limitations doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual process that requires patience, self-compassion, and constant practice. But each step you take in this direction will bring you closer to the more balanced, authentic, and powerful version of yourself that the universe intended when you were born under the sign of Libra. Remember that your growth journey is unique. Don't compare yourself to other Libras or people of other signs. Your pace is the right pace for you. Your way of implementing these changes will be different from anyone else's, and that's exactly how it should be. What matters is that you've started. The mere fact that you've watched this far shows that you're ready for transformation. You've recognized patterns that may have been invisible for years, and this recognition is the most important first step toward freedom. Now I want to ask a question that could change everything for you. Of all the 10 baggage we've discussed today, which one resonates most deeply with your experience? Which one do you feel has the greatest negative impact on your current life? Share it in the comments because your answer might be exactly what someone else needs to hear to begin their own transformational journey. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, now is the perfect time to do so. Turn on notifications too because we have much more transformative content coming. Your journey of growth as a Libra is just beginning. And I want to be by your side every step of the way toward the true balance and inner peace you deserve.